Hello folks, it's Pete from North America by Rail.info. It's Monday, March the 21st, 2022, and we are at Vancouver's Pacific Central Station, about to start on an epic 5-day journey aboard Via Rail Canada's Transcontinental passenger train, the Canadian, which runs from Vancouver to Toronto.
Turned around, as the train's turned around.
We're passing a CP freight train. As I mentioned before, we have left Vancouver and are traveling east on PNSF's new Westminster subdivision. Canada's railways are divided up into subdivisions. These subdivisions are not a standard length. They are based on the distance that a steam locomotive can travel in one day, and can be anywhere from 0 to 250, 275 miles in length. The point at which one subdivision ends and the next subdivision begins is known as a railway division point. At each railway division point, the miles reset back to 0 and count up, going westwards. So for this trip, I've brought along my trusty GPS. We recently passed through Burnaby, BC, which is a suburb of Vancouver. The Lougheed Highway is to the left of us on the train, as you can see, perhaps on the GPS there. See, right now we are traveling at about 59 kilometers per hour. My GPS is set up for kilometers per hour because even though railways in Canada operate in miles, they always have and still do operate in miles. I use my GPS also for my car as well, so it's set up in kilometers per hour. Canada is officially a metric country, but railways in Canada still operate in miles.
Here shortly, once VIA number 2 is on the bridge and going across, you're going to be falling right into Thurston.
I've also brought along my trusty Uniden Bearcat scanner, my Uniden BC75 XLT, which I have programmed into bank 1 of the scanner. I programmed all of the CN, CP, and Via Rail frequencies used on the train's route. So I find it makes the trip more interesting between having the scanner and the GPS together. I can usually figure out exactly where the train is.
Hello there, head in on train number 1, ASC via number 2, over.
Can you stand by for a minute here? I'll give you a call back. VIA number 2 hit it. Stand by here. We have restriction.
That having the scanner allows you to hear the head-end crew, the dispatcher, the onboard services crew, the service manager, and it gives you some extra information that would not normally be available. So I find having the scanner and having the GPS together, it gives me a lot more information that I would have otherwise.
Yes, I do. I have 2 off at Mission, and I have 3 off at Agassiz. Both stops have no baggage in the baggage car, over.
2 off at Mission and 3 at Agassiz and no bags.
That's correct, and I was wondering if I could have 2 time checks, 1 for departure and currently now, please, over.
For 1548, 1548, and the departure was 15.2, 15.2.
Okay, 1548 and 15.2, thank you. Sorry, one last thing I know. So with the service dogs, I know that there isn't a lot of opportunity for an extra stop, but if there is some sort of siding eventually, if we can get that to happen, please, over.
We will trade off at Hope or at Hank. They're just past Cass. Be like maybe a 10-minute break.
I appreciate that, and thankful if it happens. I appreciate that. If you need anything, please let me know.
You think so?
Thank you.
River Bridge, 111 calling. Go ahead, over. Lead engine, CN 2828 north. Headed for the main yard. Are you ready for booking over? Go ahead, over. 2N, 51 cars, 3,000. 3,051. I've got VN number 2 coming onto the bridge here right away, and a 118 coming in. So once Thornton Yard says you're okay, give me a call back. I'll try and get you moving. ASAP. Hold there. Oh, thanks.
So as you can probably see from the Garmin, our track is going to curve to the left, and we are going to be crossing the Fraser River shortly. It may be a little bit hard to see on the GPS, but there is a both a road bridge and a rail bridge right beside each other, crossing the Fraser River.
And 356 tower. Do you guys still require your SPU number, or can you recheck our room? number 2. One more, number 2. 13. I'll do number 2. Stop. Get open the doors.
So Mission, British Columbia is a station stop, and that's why we are stopped here. The back part of the train is still on the bridge. They're opening the doors at the station on the front side of the train, according to the crew announcements that we can hear on the scanner.
Train number 2, correct? That is correct. System 2 up. Thanks, sir. Number 2, this Mission Bridge inspected on the east side, no defects noted, Mission Bridge. No defects on the east side, no Mission Bridge, be number 2.
We are now going through the Y at Mission, British Columbia, and leaving the line that crosses the Fraser River, and we are on to the Canadian Pacific Cascade subdivision. So, in the grand tradition of railroading, dinner time on the Canadian. Salmon fillet with guacamole, bun, bok choy, mashed potatoes.
There was a part there where it was really, really close. Like that.
And for dessert, peppermint chocolate mousse.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here. Are we looking on the right or the left over? The door's on the right. Doors will be on the right. Okay, thanks. Don't care. I don't have to report us, you know.
When you have a chance, can you pass me that wine bottle with water in it? Your sangria bottle? It's almost empty, might as well just, I'll finish it. Look at that old Wild West Saloon. The old West Saloon.
Hi.
Two coaches, number two. Actually, one coach, half coach. I'll do number two, it's just fun. Get over the door. Oh, get over.
Yeah, no, I think they changed the entry fees for some reason. Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it's starting to get dark. But, what time is it out here? Your time?
He's okay. I mean,
I'm not loving it.
no, I mean, I'm not like, ooh, because again, I'm like, just like,
One time.
yesterday.
You know, I was thinking 24 hours, and we're less than 24 hours on the train. I'm so disappointed.
I
No,
know,
not.
I know.
No, not.
It's so stupid.
I guess I could. That's cool.
So we are in a Manor class sleeping car, and as you can see from this diagram, at one end of the car are 4 roomettes, or cabins for one. Continuing through the hallway, we see A, B, C, D, E, and F. These are bedrooms, or cabins for 2. Continuing on through the hall, we come to the berths. These are sections or berths, upper berth, lower berth. There are 2 seats which face each other during the daytime in open seating sections, and by nighttime the lower seat folds into a bed and an upper bunk folds down from the ceiling to convert into bunk beds, which are separated by privacy curtains and dividing walls. Going through the sleeping car, so this is a roomette, or a cabin for one. You see it has a bed which lowers down from the wall. I'm not going to lower it all the way now. By day it has an armchair for one. It's got a pocket with some coat hangers, some coat hooks to put your coat hangers, ventilation controls, attendant call button, ceiling light, mirror light, fan, and it's got an outlet. This is the sliding door. It's got a little cup dispenser, Kleenex dispenser, a little shelf where you can put your toiletries. It has a sink and vanity facility. The table just lifts up like that, that's your sink. Water. And it also has the step stool for the armchair is a toilet. Just lift up the lid like that. There's your toilet facility. And it has a large mirror and a nice large picture window. So as I mentioned, we are in a Manor class sleeping car, and the sleeping cars on the Canadian have plaques in the hallway explaining the historical significance of the person the cars are named after. Hallway. The section I've just passed are the bedrooms. So here at the front of the sleeping car, they have these open section sleeping compartments called berths, consisting of an upper berth which folds down from the ceiling and a lower berth. At nighttime, these 2 chairs, these 2 armchairs, fold down and come together to make the lower berth section, and the upper berth section folds down from the ceiling. So this is a section consisting of the upper berth and the lower berth. And there's 3 sections in each car. So here's one of them here on the left. There's another one on the right side of the hallway. And going through the car, here is our 3rd berth section. So these, as I said before, these are the bedrooms. We are in bedroom F. And this is the bedroom set up for day use. As you can see, there are 2 armchairs, folding armchairs that set up during the daytime. At nighttime, this here to the right is a Murphy bed that folds down from the wall. And there is another bunk that lowers from the ceiling to make up your 2 bunk beds. Because we've elected to dine in our room, we have a table set up. That's the table there. It just attaches to the wall, and it can be folded and stowed away when not in use. Here is our vanity facility. Just as in the roomette, we have a sink, water. We have drinking water here from this faucet. Vanity and mirror facilities. And we have a fan. We have our attendant call button, ceiling light, mirror light, washroom light, fan control. They have an outlet, which I have my GPS, my scanner, and also an air purifier plugged into. And I got my outlet strip here. And in addition to that, it has a little cubby hole above the vanity facilities to put your toiletries. It's got space up here for shower curtains that Via provides. Shower towels that Via provides. And a space for your luggage or any other items you may have that you want to store up there. Got another little shelf where you can store more toiletries. Got coat hooks throughout the room. And over here, this is the door to the hallway. We have another cubby hole. We can store gloves, hat, and we have a small sort of closet where you can store your jackets, and it has hangers in there as well. So that's the bedroom set up for day use. I had forgotten to mention that the bedroom or cabin for 2 also has a washroom. It's an ensuite washroom. It's got your toilet paper. So that is the ensuite washroom that you get when you are in a bedroom or a cabin for 2. So this is our bedroom set up for night use. As you can see, there's the upper bunk that lowers down from the ceiling, and the lower bunk that folded down from the wall. Upper bunk is accessed by a ladder, and I've asked our attendant to leave a chair set up in our room overnight, so if we need to sit down for whatever reason, it's there. So this is the bedroom for 2, set up for nighttime use. So day 2 of our transcontinental trip on Via Rail's Canadian. We had just left the Clearwater CN Clearwater subdivision at Blue River. That was the town that I had filmed out the back of the train when I did my video out the back of the train earlier. And we are now on the CN Alberta subdivision east of Blue River, British Columbia. We had just passed Pyramid Falls earlier, and it is now breakfast time. So for breakfast, this is the Transcontinental, eggs over medium, hash browns, bacon, orange, melon, toast, and orange juice.
Yes, that about quarter to.
Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. what you just heard on the scanner was the CN hotbox detector or automatic defect detector. These are track-mounted sensors mounted along the track that scan the wheels of the train for hot journal bearings or hot journal boxes on the wheels of the passenger car. These sensors make sure that there's no overheated bearings on the wheels of the cars, It also does an axle count, as you heard. It counts the axles of the train, and it also gives you the speed and temperature. So that's what you heard on the scanner, the hotbox detector.
Guys, did you need a baggage car? I didn't get a chance to crack it.
so hard to draw your hands.
I don't know. Because I have a drawing pad.
No, but like when you erase, like the thing is so thick.
For the pen, it depends how many you press.
I don't like it. I like it. Oh yeah, the bulldozer can only get you.
看感受来，它喝的那个呀。Look, you're not like when we fall off. Yeah, it will get a hot dip.
Look, you realize when you're not scrolling on it, it goes like this.
The new ones are pretty open. 哇，你们现在看是后面那个上面那个盲点。哇，这个中文就比较好。对，哦呀。You guys miss the view. How did you get 200 on this one?
6th floor.
Yeah.
Anyway, he went off and he drove for Sophia Ellis Baxter.
Oh, wow.
Champagne. And then he became Ringo Starr in the London,
Wow,
you know,
okay, yeah.
performances. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
Help.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, Joe realised it.
It is just like, if you've got a lucky break, you'd be.
Yeah, if you got that option.
Yeah.
So what will you be doing with your MA and things now?
I think that's what I've kind of finished off with one business and I'm just going to work freelance as a
So what gives you most joy?
yeah, and I can do it, I can kind of cut down. I'd like to work 2 or 3 days a week, that would be great. Oh, I know. So ideally, like Tuesday, Wednesday, fantastic.
If you do your own class, you can then regulate your time of just because you're taking other people's stuff all the time and you do need to have a break.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I've got one of my colleagues from uni, she is now up and running with 20 clients a week. Full time.
Oh, beautiful. That is just amazing. Right, do you want to come here?
Oh, sure. Hey guys, come on up here.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like clear now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm hugging
Oh,
pockets.
no. You're fine. You're fine.
Sit up here for a while.
You're fine.
As I,
You sure?
yeah, go on.
Okay. I'll take a peek. Come on up.
I'm always under you guys can sit.
You're not always up here.
So pretty.
You want to come up that?
Go for it a little bit. You'd be here, then you can take photos. I'll take a look. Look at that.
Do you get a chance to get time off in the week? Or are you...
Not for the week, it's pretty full on.
Oh, okay.
My day off is a Saturday.
Saturday.
That's the day off block.
Yeah.
So, I can keep that pretty much
Yeah.
limited. But since somebody started the PhD, I'm going to need a day's study.
Oh, yes.
When I go back, I'm going to try and negotiate that with my parents.
Yeah.
Whether it's working that practice is a very needy priority.
Okay. And do you do a lot of extra sort of like food banks?
Oh, we do
homeless shelters.
During the November, 6 days a week.
Wow.
There's a picture up the back. Yeah, we do a lot of stuff going on. It's something every day.
Wow.
My camera
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Community focus. Yeah.
It's morning, afternoon, and evening.
Wow.
So it's very full on, and I love it.
Yeah.
It can get quite tiring, so I did try to take my time.
This is only.
Have pews or is it removable chairs?
It's chairs, but we have a hall as well.
Oh, okay. So you have like preschools in doing.
Yeah, that's right. We've got to stay and play.
Yeah.
Did you see that? So Zen Rail.
With Jen? No.
We've got
I think it was very fast on time.
young families.
I feel pretty good for the see some.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Wednesdays.
Oh, that is a late.
Thursdays we do WOW group. It's a women's group, women of local.
Oh, yes.
And then we do a lot of different things, from craft to self-esteem, to health relations.
Moose Lake, British
Quite a thing,
Columbia.
isn't it?
Oh, it's
Thank
called
you.
Yeah.
I wondered if it was a
Yeah.
lake.
It is. It
Thank
is.
you.
Well, I mean, at least they're there. That's the positive.
If it's called Moose Lake.
Yeah, we're the moose.
You're the moose.
And I think supporting my previous role was working with families and parents.
We're probably back up in there.
Yeah, and then I set up a business with a colleague. He's left into doing that. He was number 2 full on.
We did see them in
And set up business training teachers in schools around behaviour management and stuff like that. And still, we would take on in our business individual parenting. So if people are really
Planning a trip.
certain things, just to go in and help with.
She's leaving work.
It's hard. It's tough, especially for young.
We're supposed to come to single us.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you talking about that. She's not married. Oh no, she is. And they're gonna move out there. He can work from anywhere,
Yes.
right? That's the deal. Oh, wow. An hour?
Yeah.
There's like little towns.
Yeah.
And then they were embarrassed, depending on how much she wanted it, but
Yeah.
said that she couldn't.
Join the club. Yeah, exactly.
Not seeing any wildlife.
The problem is that a lot of these young mums, they kind of, I remember one mum coming to a group and she said, you know, I know exactly how not to do it, but I don't know how to do it right. You know, I know what not to do, which is basically how she was taught. But you kind of think they know no different.
Yes,
There's
no role model.
No, there's nothing to help and support and hence intergenerational patterns of behaviour. Yeah. I like it. It's church. It's nice when churches being quite involved in the community. That's important. Well, there used to be those super learning programs with them. Remember?
There are parallel tracks the whole way.
Super learning should go in and
Oh,
sort out the child. Yeah, in about 6 weeks.
Toronto?
Or is it just like
Sections where they split off for the period of time. Yeah. That's why you have to put engineering.
Yeah.
Materials, fashion,
Oh yeah. The trouble is there's also the problem.
yeah, and I'm sure they time it, kind of like air
So that
travel.
you don't know.
There's train traffic.
Pick something that's not necessarily.
I kind of suspect that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. More economical to do that.
Yeah, but space is important. Should be
What do you call it? Lots of dumpsters.
Okay.
So you have like
Yeah.
20-yard roll off, 40-yard roll off.
Yeah.
that the relationship is close, then they absolutely do it. And I usually just roll. The church really wants to be done to school.
Yeah.
And it was, yes, this is really important because we want to be able to work with them. And it is good, but
It's tough work. I was vice chair of kids primary school for about 10 years. In the end, I felt like I was there, but every week I was like recruiting some member of staff. You just thought, oh my gosh, it's
like, I think those children give us to each other.
no, so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. May I have your attention, please? Just to give you a little update on our running time. We did lose a little bit of time now, but we are hoping if all works out well and the train doesn't get stopped by another freight train, we should be arriving in approximately 1 hour into Jasper.
Oh my god.
The current time is now 12:43. We should be arriving in approximately 1:40, 1:45. We will keep you updated when we know more information. Enjoy the rest of the journey. Tout le monde, votre attention s'il vous plaît. Juste pour vous laisser savoir, nous sommes un peu plus en retard qu'on pensait, mais pas trop tôt. On attend arriver à Jasper dans approximativement 1 heure. approximativement 1 heure. L'heure locale présentement est 12h43. Merci. Bon après-midi.
It did. I saw it.
Stay down, stay
11.
It's alright.
Yeah, it hasn't updated yet.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's connected.
Right, thanks enough.
Oh, yeah, we'll find it.
But it's somewhere really safe, you know. You're going to find it and go, oh my gosh, I
remember I put it in the bag and it's just
Jumped off out of the pool. Yeah, but actually, you never know, you never
Yeah, I can see it. You make little buddies on the train. Make little buddies on the train. It's just a fun time.
Where are you from?
Especially when it's so crowded.
And you're from England? England, so yes. You also from England? I sounded, yes.
Yeah, well done. Where in Belgium?
near Ghent.
Near Ghent, yes. The Flemish part.
Yes.
And it's your first time here? Yeah, for us also. Yes.
I was about 9 when I came last time, so a long time ago.
Oh, yes. And you stay at the train?
I mean, not to tell
No, we're getting off at just. Yeah, we also, yes. Yes.
Where are you going then?
And to Lake Louis.
Oh, it's all week. You're probably in the same room.
Yeah, and we take the plane and
Calgary.
to Calgary. So
Yeah.
we think that's
11 days.
11 days for us. We have.
Great. So you've not been to Canada at all?
No,
No,
we haven't.
No. My dad was in the Navy.
Oh, yeah.
And he ended up in the Canadian Navy for a period as well. So he came, but that was in the Second World War. And he was there. He was actually in Newfoundland.
Oh, yes,
He was there for 6 months. So he got iced. The ship was an iceberg. They had to go for a refit.
Oh.
So yeah, so he always talked about Canada.
That.
So
Now you're curious.
Let's go.
Yes.
It was lovely people.
But that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
That
yeah,
they
very
are.
lovely.
They're very lovely.
There's one of their expressions that we've heard quite a lot in Vancouver and Yukon, which we've just visited, which was for sure.
Yeah.
And it's so positive. It's
Oh, yeah.
so lovely expression. You do some of that.
You don't see it so often. They don't say for sure.
No, they don't. No, I think some travel do. But you might say certainly.
Oh,
or
yeah.
it's not the same feeling.
Yeah. Definitely. For sure.
Near Ghent.
You can. The Flemish part of Belgium. Have you ever visited Belgium? Is it Bruges? Ah, Bruges. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Bruges. We love Bruges. Yes.
That was on to Bruges, wasn't it?
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Yeah.
We did. We
There's a little Venice, they say.
The Venice of the
Word
North.
in Belgium. They call it.
But we saw more of it when we went on the cruise. We just went in and found a cafe, had some breakfast, and we didn't really see much of the town.
You can't see all. And you have that's where you have to
Yeah, so we
return.
went, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
When we went with the cruise, we did all the guided tours. You just walk around. I think we just walked around. We saw the canals.
Yes.
So do you have family? Why don't you have family that back in Belgium?
No, in Belgium.
Yeah.
Our parents.
Our parents, yes.
We have no.
Previous carer I had used to like single moms. He was very
Yes.
knowledge about single moms.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain.
My brother's like that. He wants to cover. He wants to write like 10 bottles.
Just water.
With smiles.
I think I've got
Did you get excited when they were talking about Scotland?
Yeah, you don't say it to him. Tell my brother.
But you can't say it to anybody because they will think we have a problem.
Oh,
And those people will think
Right. Yeah, that's what we did. We just left it.
Jasper, Alberta. We have two Via Rail F40s, F40 diesel locomotives at the front of our train, 3,000 horsepower each. We are in a Manor class sleeping car, and that is our car there, Laird Manor. And looking towards the rear of the train, you see they're doing a dome car window wash on the parked car. Washing the windows. This is a CN Class U1A mountain type 482 steam locomotive. Engine number 6015, on display at Jasper, Alberta. Here we have Jasper train station, Jasper Heritage Railway Station to be precise, and we are on Connaught Avenue in downtown Jasper. We have about a 40-minute layover before we reboard the train. having lunch in our room on the Canadian. Veggie burger, coleslaw, melon, and cranberry juice. Spruced up with a little bit of vodka. For passengers in sleeping car class, Via Rail does allow you to bring your own alcohol on board as long as you consume it in your own rooms. And for dessert, mini cheesecake. We are now departing Jasper, Alberta. We have left the CN Alberta subdivision and we are now on the CN Edson subdivision.
Mile 234.3, North Track Edson Subdivision. Restore to derailing position. Repeat, restore to derailing position.
Yes, I'd like to see a bear.
It's not very long, I think.
Another month or two, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we should. I would see them though, but we should. Usually sitting around. with a television. Coming.
Yeah, these are the ones I see. The worst of them is all the trees. Very speedy.
Oh, it's funny, seeing one of them.
Keep our eyes peeled. Just looking at it.
Didn't miss a tunnel, right? Is that coming from our train?
Yeah, but the exhaust.
223 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some deer up there.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Antelope or some description.
Yeah.
One tours in national parks. Some plants looking at them.
Yeah.
We have a clock face principle, right? It's because people,
6 o'clock. Yeah.
people tend to say, oh, look.
I guess when the grass gets greener, maybe.
Yeah. Although, yeah.
I don't know what they need.
I don't know. All green signal. Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah, there's a big thaw going on there. Although I look at the forecast, it's getting colder again the weekend.
Yeah, there should be goats around. There should be goats in here. Yeah, we should see something.
It's just round down here on this bend that they use for publicity of this train. It's up down here.
Oh, really? It's a good place.
Geese.
Yeah.
On the Canada variety.
Duck.
Oh. I always forget to put my wildlife.
Oh, yeah.
tracks I saw.
Will they?
I don't know what for, but
Yeah, this one's being built. That's good. That's good. That's good.
what the heck is that tunnel? Doesn't look promising, does it? For a tunnel.
No. Don't worry about time. Just keep going.
Yeah. Sure it is a
Not
tunnel.
enough.
I didn't dream it.
Spent 4 days in the
Too long train.
What's the difference between a moose and
I think they can.
But I think
I know the
maybe a
elk.
moose has got more like a horse's face rather
Correct.
than
It's long and looking
yeah.
I think
dangerous.
either the male or the female has her horns,
Yeah.
but maybe not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
See, if I brought my wildlife book, which I forgot.
Yeah, you could have just shown us.
We'll have to
couldn't you?
find to see them.
I know, I want to contain them.
I've got one of those audible guide things, you know, which are very good.
Oh yeah. But this would be pretty
I wonder what's in these containers, where's it going?
oh, that would have been a really good one.
Full of stuff.
That's quite the moment.
It looks surprising.
Two men outside. Standing there.
Right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't see them all.
I would think they'd join that.
Yeah, I would think so.
They can't operate two trains in the same block.
That's true, not that close.
God, yeah, Bangalore racing.
Must be favoring us.
I hope so. Favour us all the way down to the end.
The fellow who got the moose that we saw, he's not here. He went off to
Yeah.
test one. That's really close to the
But it must be a sequence of it somewhere. Between tracks, yeah, it's called dispatching. It's going back to second track again.
Goats.
They're probably goats.
They're big horn sheep.
Big horn sheep.
I think the goats are further up.
Oh yeah. Sorry, am I your way?
I got it.
Anyway,
Clear up some of this mess.
there should be some goats up here, but not necessarily.
Cheering up, cheering up.
Amazing how they can walk up there like that.
Yeah, they're little.
Now, okay. This is it, is it?
Goats.
This is it?
This is it. There's
This is
usually
it.
goats.
Okay, where's the goats?
Where are they?
Come on, goats.
Goaty, goaty, goaty.
Nope, nothing.
Nothing.
All that standing for nothing.
I've been sitting there all afternoon waiting for this.
We did get the sheep though.
Yeah, we did.
Quick, take a picture.
As soon as the town goes up, we get down to the sea.
Incredible.
That's nice to be on top coming behind us.
Aha! You don't remember the fellow that was there, you go.
Yeah, there you go. No, well done, well done. You wouldn't mistake it. That's very
That
good.
was pretty good. Sorry, I didn't see any goals.
Right, I'm going to get rid of this.
Actually, I think I got a picture.
dinner time on the Canadian, day 2. Chicken pesto, greens, potatoes, bread and butter. For dessert, key lime pie and peppermint chocolate mousse.
Number 2, clear at 11.
Breakfast time on the Canadian, day 3. Oatmeal yogurt, cinnamon, tea.
Please remain in your seats or in your cabin until the train comes to a complete stop in the terminal. Let passengers nearest the door leave before you, always. And always maintain a safe distance from others. Please remember that masks are also required in the station and at all times. Detraining, we ask that you use caution and wait until an attendant is at the door to assist you. If Saskatoon is your final destination, please ensure that you have all of your personal belongings with you. Your checked baggage may be claimed in the station approximately 15 minutes after the arrival of the train. On behalf of myself and service manager Colin Sabbard and the entire crew, we thank you for choosing VRL Canada, and we wish you a pleasant day. We also apologize for any late arrival, and of course, hope to see you again very shortly. For passengers continuing on with us and who wish to be trained, please note that once off the train, the best to do that we will be in the station for approximately 20 minutes, so please have a walk around. But don't go too far away, as we will be reboarding in approximately 20 minutes. Also be aware there may be some icy spots on that platform, so watch your footing as you get off the train. The local time is now 8:41 a.m. Thank you. Enjoy your time here in Saskatoon.
I am missing a pill here.
Bonjour tout le monde, puis votre attention s'il vous plaît. Nous réalisons à la gare de Saskatoon dans approximativement 5 minutes. Pour votre sécurité, veuillez rester à votre siège ou dans votre cabine jusqu'à l'arrêt complète du train dans le terminal. Laissez les passagers le plus près de la porte sortir avant vous et maintenez toujours une distance adéquate avec les autres. N'oubliez pas que les masques sont également requis encore à tout temps.
So we are arriving at the station in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. It is day 3 of our eastbound trek on Via Rail's Canadian, Vancouver to Toronto. Here's an old Via Rail route guide that I brought along with me on this trip. The Canadian is Via Rail's premier passenger train, and the route of the Canadian passes some of the most captivating scenery in the world. As you can see on the map and the route guide, from the city of Vancouver on the Pacific coast, the train passes through the Fraser River Canyon, through Boston Bar, Lytton, and Ashcroft, BC, and on to Kamloops. From Kamloops, the train then strikes east through the Rockies to Blue River, Valemount, over the famed Yellowhead Pass, with views of Mount Ropes and the highest peak in the Canadian Rockies at 12,972 feet. The Canadian then travels to Jasper in the heart of the Canadian Rockies at Jasper National Park, Alberta. From Jasper, the train then passes through the spectacular Front Range of the Rockies in Jasper National Park, and then over the vast expanses of the prairies, through the towns of Hinton, Edson, onto Edmonton, Alberta, through Viking, Wainwright, Unity, Biggar, and on to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. From Saskatoon, the train then travels to Watrous, Melville, Portage la Prairie, and on to Winnipeg. Going east from Winnipeg, the train strikes out across the Red River and on into the province of Ontario. The train then passes through the rocks, lakes, rivers, and muskeg of the Canadian Shield, through the towns of Sioux Lookout, Armstrong, Long Lac, Hornpain, Gogama, Capriole, and to the mining town of Sudbury, Ontario. From Sudbury, the train passes through the cottage country of Parry Sound on Georgian Bay, through Washago, before finally arriving at the sprawling metropolis of Toronto, Ontario. Here's an older Via Rail timetable that I brought with me on this trip. It has diagrams showing the layout of the passenger cars as well as the onboard accommodations. Inaugurated on April 24th, 1955, the Canadian was a revolution in Canadian train travel. It was the first stainless steel streamliner in Canada to be equipped with high-level scenic dome cars. The Canadian originally ran on the Transcontinental route of the Canadian Pacific. In 1978, Via Rail assumed operation of the Canadian, and in 1990, amid massive cuts to service, shifted the train's route from CP to that of its former rival, CN's Supercontinental. The equipment on the Canadian was state-of-the-art. 173 stainless steel cars were ordered from the Budd Company of Philadelphia and included baggage dormitories, leg rest coaches, dining room cars, Skyline Series Dome coffee shop coaches, Chateau and Manor Series sleeping cars with berths, bedrooms, roomettes, compartments, and drawing rooms, and finally the Park Series Dome Sleeper Lounge observation cars. The lounges of the park cars were adorned with large murals, some by members of Canada's renowned Group of 7 artists, depicting the national and provincial parks the cars were named after, making the Canadian a veritable art gallery on wheels. The decision to go with stainless steel was a sound one, as the cars remain in service today with Via in top-notch condition. So this is a Transcontinental coach used on the Canadian. If you're traveling in economy class, you would be traveling in one of these coaches. They have large, spacious, reclining seats with a generous amount of recline, and they also have leg rests, and they're quite comfortable. The thing about traveling coach, if you are traveling in coach, is meals are not included in the price of your fare. You would have to buy those either from the snack bar in the Skyline Dome car, or you could purchase them and eat them in the dining car as well. So this is a Transcontinental coach used by economy class passengers. Below that we have a Manor Sleeper, and this is the type of sleeping car that we are traveling in. We are traveling in a Manor class sleeping car. At the front end of the Manor Sleeper, we have 3 sections or berths. They consist of an upper berth and a lower berth by night, with curtains that are hung for privacy, and by day they convert into 2 armchairs that face each other on either side of a large picture window. And you can see there are 3 sections or 3 double berths. Behind them, just to the left, you can see there are washrooms, and to the right you can see there is also shower facilities for the use of sleeping car passengers. Behind the berths we have the bedrooms or cabins for 2. You can see A, B, C, D, E, F. These are the bedrooms or cabins for 2. And they have 2 armchairs that's set up by day, and by night the armchairs fold down, and a Murphy bed lowers from the wall and a bunk bed lowers from the ceiling, so you get 2 bunks. These are totally enclosed private rooms, and they have their own ensuite washroom as well, and they include sink and vanity facilities. So those are the bedrooms. Further on towards the rear of the sleeping car we have roomettes or single bedrooms. There's 4 of them in a Manor class sleeping car. By day they have a large armchair, and by night the armchair folds down and a bed from the wall folds down over that. In addition, there is a toilet in the room that is concealed by a step stool or an ottoman that you can use as a leg rest for your seat, and there are sink and vanity facilities in each single bedroom. So that is a Manor class sleeper as used on Via Rail's Canadians. Here we have a Chateau class sleeping car. They are similar to the Manor class sleepers in their arrangements. They have sections or double berths at one end of the car, shower and washroom facilities, and they also have bedrooms as well. Bedroom A is a triple bedroom, B, C, and D are double bedrooms, and they have the same facilities as the bedrooms on the Manor class sleeping car. In addition, there are also 8 roomettes or single bedrooms in a Chateau class sleeping car. And again, like the Manor class, they have the same facilities as the roomettes in the Manor class sleeping car. The Chateau sleeping cars are not used on the Canadian during the off season. They are only used during the peak season when there is increased passenger traffic on the train. So that's when the Chateau sleepers are used. Finally, at the bottom here we have the park car. The park car, at the front of the park car there are 4 double bedrooms, and in the center of the car there is the mural lounge and bar. It has drink and snacks are available there. And at the end of the car we have the Bullet Lounge with its wraparound seating and windows. From the Bullet Lounge you can go up the stairs into the Scenic Dome section, where there are 24 coach type seats, and that is the section with the Scenic Dome, the second level, with the windows that give you 360-degree views, front and back and side to side. You can see what's happening all around the train.
And then 102 on the 6. Sorry, 102. So, you're getting out of your way here now. I overheard that you're there at the tail end. Are you able to make out the west end tank?
There's the high rail truck there.
This is the conductor on the tail end, and no, I can't see the west end light from here. Over. Okay. Well, to make this a bit more kosher, well, I should just give you a work log. It would just be between switches and tapes that don't need to protect you in your front end. You just need to sort in your tail and back west switch. So, I want to grab a form. I'm going to give you a work log. It's 3977 Your authority to back up beyond the west switch tape is lightly. Jared, you'll have to get that. I don't have any track warrants back here. Yeah, it just hangs up where you can see. I gotta look at one here. Yeah, I got it. Send a copy. You got 2693 leading over? Yeah, CN 2693 on the lead. Okay, here we go. Item 1. 3531 3531.
One of the things I often get asked is how much does it cost to do a cross-country trip on Via Rail's Canadian? And the answer to that is the cost varies depending on the level of service that you're looking at. So for starters, if you were to travel from Toronto to Vancouver and return in economy class, you could do that by buying a Via Rail CanRail pass, which gives you 10 days of train travel. So that's enough to get you from Toronto to Vancouver and return, and the cost would be $699 Canadian. So for $699 you can travel from Toronto to Vancouver and return in economy class on a CanRail pass. That price does not include the meals. You would have to buy the meals either in the Skyline Dome car, snack bar, or in the dining car. So that is economy class on a CanRail pass. The next level of service is Sleeper Plus class. As I mentioned before, we are traveling on this trip in a Manor class sleeper, and we are in Sleeper Plus class. And the cost that I paid for this trip is $2,496 Canadian. Now that price is discounted because I am a Via Rail preference member, so I collect Via preference points, which are like frequent flyer miles, and I used my Via preference points to pay for my wife's return ticket. Toronto to Vancouver and return was completely paid for with my Via preference points. In addition, being a Via preference member, I had a coupon, a Via preference coupon, for 50% off Sleeper Plus class on the Canadian, so my round trip is 50% off. So the price, my total price for this trip that I paid was $2,496 Canadian. That's Toronto to Vancouver and return in a sleeping car, accommodation and all meals included in that price. Now, as I've said, that is the discounted price that I paid for being a Via preference member and using my points as well as a Via preference coupon. The regular non-discounted price for a bedroom for two, this would be two people, Toronto to Vancouver, would be approximately $4,000 Canadian. That's the price that I checked online recently. It was just over $4,000 Canadian, and that price is for two people in a bedroom for two, Toronto to Vancouver, all meals included. That being said, there are ways to travel in a sleeping car for less than that price. If you are a AAA member, for example, a AAA or a CAA member, Via Rail does give you a 10% discount when you book online, if you do so using your AAA membership number. Or you could also travel, instead of in a bedroom, you could travel in a berth. As an example, to give an example, in 2019, my wife and I traveled from Vancouver to Toronto in a section, a double berth, upper and lower berth, for approximately $1,800 Canadian. That's $1,800 Canadian. So that would be $900 per person per direction, Vancouver to Toronto, in a berth, with berth sleeping accommodation and meals included. So in addition to economy and Sleeper Plus classes, there is also a prestige class available on Via Rail's Canadian, and this is Via Rail's premium level of service. The bedrooms in the park car have all been converted to prestige class bedrooms, and these bedrooms are about 50% larger than a standard Sleeper Plus class bedroom. They have a larger double bed that folds down from the wall instead of having bunk beds. And by day, it's a large you get a large L-shaped sofa in your room during the daytime. There's also a little table with a mini bar. Meals are included in the fare, of course, as are alcoholic beverages when you go in prestige class. If you go in sleeper plus class, the meals are included but not the alcoholic beverages. But in prestige class, the alcoholic beverages are included in your fare. You also get a TV in your room, a large flat screen TV. There is also a washroom, an ensuite washroom with your own private shower in the prestige class bedrooms. Now, prestige class is Via Rail's premium level of service, and it is quite pricey if you were to travel in prestige class. For example, from Toronto to Jasper was over $7,000 the last time I checked. You'd have to go online on viarail.ca to check the prices now for any level of service that you're considering traveling. But that was the price the last time I checked. So that was $7,000 for 2 people in a prestige class bedroom, Toronto to Jasper, and that was with all meals and drinks included, alcoholic drinks. That being said, personally, I find Sleeper Plus class to be pretty much just as enjoyable as prestige class. I've traveled in both classes of service, and if you do not want to spend a whole bunch of money, Sleeper Plus class is perfectly fine. You could, as I said before, my wife and I have traveled in a berth for $1,800, and that included berth accommodations and all meals in Sleeper Plus class. Now, comparing that to the cost of renting a car, it's actually quite economical. A rental car alone, driving one-way Vancouver to Toronto, would easily cost you over $1,000 when you include the drop fee. So it would be well over $1,000 just for the rental car. And by the time you include gas, food, and hotels, you'd be sitting at well over $2,000. So that $1,800 that we paid for a double berth from Vancouver to Toronto, with all meals included on the train, and including our berth accommodations, was actually quite economical. So that gives you an idea of some of the prices available, the price points available on Via Rail's Canadian. Day 3, lunchtime on the Canadian. Couscous salad, chicken wrap with salad, cranberry juice, Diet Coke.
Alright.
For dessert, gluten-free brownies.
102, back on 1.
What? Bison there.
No, really. Oh yeah, look at them all. With their humpy backs.
could have been weekend there, 150.
Second and final call for dinner.
Day 3, dinner time on Via Rail. Have a cod fillet, mango salsa, vegetables, mashed potatoes, and a bun, and prime rib, horseradish, mashed potatoes, bun, veg. So that is dinner, day 3 on Beer Rails Canadian. And for dessert, mini cheesecake. So in the distance, behind these train cars, you can see a large flat-topped hill, and that is the Cut Arm Creek potash mine. There you have a better view of it. So that large flat-topped hill in the distance is the Cut Arm Creek potash mine. That's actually a tailings pile. The actual mine itself is coming up in view just now.
time into Toronto. Believe it or not, there's lots of time in our schedule. As long as the freight trains keep letting us move, we will make up that time as we continue our journey east.
Day 4 on the Canadian. We are west of Sioux Lookout at Canyon, Ontario, and it is breakfast time. This is the Transcontinental breakfast. Eggs over medium, bacon, hash browns, fruit, and brown toast. This is the park car Prince Albert Park on the tail end of the Canadian at Sioux Lookout, Ontario. This is the dome car that's put on the train for sleeping car passengers. Lunchtime, day 4, eastbound on Via Rail's Canadian. Beef burger for lunch. Quinoa salad. And for dessert, blueberry crumble with ice cream. We are entering Armstrong, Ontario. Armstrong is a railway division point. It is where the CN Allan Water subdivision ends and the CN Karamat subdivision begins.
6:20.
What are we now?
6:10.
Oh my dear. Oh gosh. So I don't think he's going to be making up any
Well,
time.
he's going to make up best part of an hour at all.
He keeps thinking he is, and then I bet he doesn't.
I'm sure I lost pretty well here.
Yeah, but we're still like we're getting
450
further
down.
and further
Yeah.
down.
9:10.
Yeah,
Is that a stopping one?
yeah, they're scheduled to stop 55 minutes all the way, but I don't suppose they will if they're running late. I could be like Sue Lookout, you know. Enough
Yeah.
time to refuel and then that'll be it.
No, we didn't leave anyone at Sue out. Swift off the mark.
Well, I thought it was very swift off. I'll tell you the truth. I was saying previous occasions, she sounded older before they come.
Yeah.
This is Loglac because it's at mile 100 and we just passed mile 102, so this must be it.
That's Loglac,
Yeah.
The schedule on here is 11 minutes past 2, but that's all fairly academic. So it's like a new bridge here. Bloody hell. There used to be a ferry here.
Is that a train track then?
No, that's a road. That's the bridge over. It's a long way. That's what the dress was. It's up here. Across the only train once, one of the entertainment, doing the entertainment one of the dome cars, did a yoga session.
Oh, that would be so nice.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
We're climbing down here. What's going on here?
The driver's getting out. He got out earlier. He's not allowed out twice.
I don't think it's a crew change. Probably a week later.
Oh yeah, that'd be it.
Can't blame him then.
Big crew change.
Someone's getting up.
There's an activity getting up.
There's a passenger getting up.
Ah, passengers getting off.
Two passengers getting up.
Two passengers getting off.
Oh, goodness me. Busy, busy, busy.
Ah, it's all happening.
See that? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Everything's getting up.
It's just nice to have a train on something.
action.
Yeah, a long rack. Next scheduled stop. The next scheduled stop is Karamat.
How
Not
far?
very long. On the timing on here, it's only 2:30 in the morning.
100 miles.
That's the Hornpain. But the next stop on this is Karamat, which is about 20 minutes away.
Only if somebody wants to get off.
Yeah, and I'll get on. There's another one called Hillsport near Hornpain. We average 50 miles an hour.
100 miles. How many miles an hour do we go?
Well, we should be able to average at least 50, allowing for some slowdowns.
So a couple of hours.
Yeah.
What's the time now? Oh, it's 6 o'clock.
Dark then,
Yeah, 10 to 7. Must have been 6 messages.
Day 4 and dinner time on the Canadian.
Total axle 5-2, speed 6-9.
So potato encrusted cod with mashed potatoes and veg, half eaten in this case, and chicken Florentine with mashed potato and veg. And for dessert, key lime cheesecake. It is 9:14 p.m. and we are currently in Hornpain, Ontario. We're supposed to depart at 6:39, so we're running approximately 2.5 hours late. However, the VIA crew has informed us that they expect an on-time arrival in Toronto tomorrow for about 2:30 p.m. So it appears that Via Rail's schedule is sufficiently padded so that they can make up the time before they reach Toronto. We are now departing Hornpain, Ontario. Hornpain is where the Karamat subdivision ends and CN's Ruel subdivision begins. of our eastbound trip on Via Rail's Vancouver to Toronto Canadian. We have just left the town of Parry Sound, Ontario on Georgian Bay. During the night at 4 a.m. we passed the town of Capriole. Capriole is where CN's Ruel subdivision ends and CN's Bala subdivision begins. So we are now on CN's Bala subdivision. Around 4:45 a.m. we passed the town of Sudbury, Ontario, the mining town of Sudbury, Ontario. So day 5, brunch, last day and last meal of our eastbound trip on the Canadian. It is once again Via Rail's Transcontinental breakfast, eggs over medium, bacon, hash browns, fruit, toast, and orange juice, plus a muffin.
Detector, Bala 112. No alarms. Temperature 0 C. Total axle 52. Speed 35.
We are entering Washago, Ontario. Last stop for Via Rail's Canadian before reaching its final terminal of Toronto, Ontario.
Perfect there, bro. Okay, right on. Keep the doors left-hand side on the complete stop. Okay, put doors on left-hand side, I think, man.
Good morning, folks. Back to have your attention, please. We're just leaving Washago, Ontario. That's the last stop before we drive into Toronto Union Station. Washago is actually roughly 2 hours away from Toronto, so roughly 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And once again, that's barring any unforeseen circumstances or any freight trains getting in our way. As long as we have a straight run, it should be roughly an hour and a half early into the station. Thank you very much. Great, I'm going a little too for you all. making a connection to another Via Rail train in Toronto, please note that your baggage will not automatically be transferred. You must collect any checked baggage from the station baggage counter and carry them onto your next connecting train. If If you plan on making purchases on board your next train, only credit cards and Via Rail gift cards are available for purchase at the ticket counter.
Right.
They do not take cash on board the train.
Yeah.
Prior to that,
Please note that smoking is not permitted on the platform or in Union Station. Your checked baggage may be claimed inside the station approximately 20 minutes after the arrival of the train. On behalf of myself, your service manager, Free and Thomas, and the entire crew, we thank you for choosing Via Rail Canada and wish you a pleasant day. Book time right now, it is 12:20. On la gare de Toronto, notre destination finale, dans environ dans votre cabine jusqu'à ce que le train s'arrête complètement dans le terminal. Nous vous demandons aux dépendants de se descendre du train et des attentes pour prévoir sur poster à la porte pour vous aider.
I'll have to do it retrospectively when we
Yes,
get
we'll
there.
make sure they use this
Yeah.
compass track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because,
That'd be
it's
worth
really
doing if we were
worth it.
coming back.
I mean, we're coming back with a tour book, right?
Not on this train in the short term, but I might be on the train in the longer
Yeah,
term.
we
Yeah.
could come back for
on.
free.
Yeah. Okay. Good
It's really
tip.
worth it.
Yeah, that does sound.
Unless they change it, you never know.
Yeah.
What is it? Well, I mean, you don't even.
I'll talk to the beer desk at
I gotta change that
Yeah,
shit.
see what they say.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put on.
Yeah. It's worth a try, isn't
I'll
it?
speak to the desk at the
We
beer
should
desk.
do that as well.
Have fun, everybody.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
See you again sometime on the
Yeah,
train.
safe trip home.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean it's an
And maybe in the
experience.
summer or
It's
the
an experience
fall.
both ways. Really.
Yeah.
I mean it's experience both ways. Either way on this, you don't see much of the Vancouver Kamloops section really.
Yeah.
But you know, I know.
Yeah.
Unless they change the timetable again.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It was quite nice being in Whistler for a bit, wasn't it? First, it was quite nice being in Whistler first.
So you're going down? Sorry, you're going down to Niagara now?
Yeah. Well, we're going to stay with some friends here for a couple of nights.
Yeah.
See my cousins.
Right.
And then
Been to
down
Niagara
to
before? Been to Niagara?
Yeah. Not in the winter. Never in the winter.
I like Niagara on the lake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always thought sometime over the years we might stay at the Prince of Wales Hotel down there.
I haven't seen that.
In Niagara on the lake.
Yeah.
It's that old Victorian sort of
Oh
hotel.
yeah, like the Victoria Falls Hotel in Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We are now arriving at Toronto Union Station. You can see the Royal York Hotel just to the left of center in the picture there. Well, here we are. Toronto Union Station. And we're just a few blocks away from the CN Tower. That concludes our trip. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.